the next few minutes, we are diving into the true story behind the Chianti Classico. How a black rooster became the ultimate guardian of one of Italy's most iconic wines. And trust me, this isn't just some random farmyard fowl. This rooster got a legendary tale that might just surprise you. First things first. What exactly is Chianti Classico? Chianti Classico is a sub-region within Tuscany, located between Florence and Siena. Here the grapes grow on rolling hills that seem straight out of a Renaissance painting. And if you are a wine lover, this region is pure heaven. What makes Chianti Classico special compared to Chianti? Alright, time for a little story from the medieval ages. You see, back in the day, Florence and Siena, two powerful city-states, had a bit of rivalry. And by a bit, I mean they were basically obsessed with outdoing each other. So much they couldn't even agree on where their borders should lie in the Chianti region. How do you solve a land dispute in the Middle Ages? With knights and roosters, of course. According to the legend, Florence and Siena came up with a pretty wild solution. They decided that at dawn, with the first Hahnenschrei, a knight from each city would set off towards each other, and wherever they met, that would become the new border. Now, Siena, playing by the rules, picked a nice, healthy, well-fed white rooster. A solid choice, but Florence? They went with a different strategy. They chose a scrappy black rooster, one they barely fed. Why? Because a hungry rooster crows earlier. As dawn approached, the black rooster, desperate for food, crowed way before the white one. This gave the Florentine knight a massive head start. And by the time the Sienese knight even got going, Florence had already won most of the land. And that is why the black rooster is the symbol of Chianti Classico. A reminder of Florence's cleverness and, well, maybe Siena's overly trusting nature. But Chianti Classico isn't just about legends and medieval roosters. Today, it's one of the most dynamic and interesting appellations in Tuscany. Let me just see. So this one is Sangiovese.
See?
This one in front.
Yeah.
And this one behind.
Exactly. Is
Merlot.
Yeah.
For starters, many vineyards here are now biological. Yup. Organic practices are a big deal. But what makes really Chianti Classico stand out, it's its diversity.
The bottle you see, it represents the certification of UGA.
UGA?
Yes, it's a denomination that Chianti Classico achieved last year, which means a micro area into the Chianti Classico big area. Okay. Each of the little country in the Chianti Classico area achieved its own UGA, which means Unicazione Geografica Aggiuntiva. Basically, it's you even selected more on the different terroir we have in Chianti Classico. That's what UGA means. And this bottle represents not the UGA of Radda in Chianti, which is the village you see on the top of the hill, because we are located in Radda in Chianti, but this UGA represents Gaiole in Chianti, which is another section of Chianti Classico, not so far from us.
The region's geology is incredibly varied, with different soil types, giving the wines distinct flavors. From rich clay to ancient limestone and rugged sandstone, each area has its own unique characteristics. And you really can taste the difference. The region's geology is incredibly varied, with different soil types, giving the wines distinct flavors. From rich clay to ancient limestone and rugged sandstone, each area has its own unique characteristics. So, the next time you spot that iconic black rooster on a Chianti Classico bottle, you will know it's not just a logo, it's a symbol of clever strategy, rich history and some seriously good wine. And don't forget, this is a region that continues to evolve, offering more flavor, more personality and more innovation with each vintage.